We are learning more about the prison attack by convicted Rochester cop killer Kelvin Vickers,
including the shiv he was caught with when he was locked up in Coxsackie State Prison. The corrections officer who was attacked by Vickers says Vickers went on to threaten more guards. Last night, we broke this story about one of the most notorious killers in Rochester.
Now our investigative team has learned even more new information. Jen Lukey has critical information on staffing shortfalls in prisons. And Berkeley Breen has the story of what happened to Vickers after the prison attack. Now, Burke, he's been in 3 prisons in 2 months,
That's right. That's right. He was in the prison south of Albany where he attacked the guard. Then he got moved up north to Clinton. And then 3 weeks later, he got moved to Attica, kind of in our area. And the guard who got attacked told me why he thinks Vickers got moved. Let's go back to January 6th. Vickers spun around and attacked the prison guard. The guard is Corey Clark. He says Vickers had a weapon in his hand that sliced his face, neck, and ear. Clark says Vickers continued to assault guards up at Clinton after his attack.
After my incident, he was immediately transferred that day up to Clinton Correctional, or Dannemora as it's more familiarly known. From that point, he had multiple or further uses of assault on staff up at Clinton, to the point where then he was then transferred to Attica after.
So the Department of Corrections confirmed that Vickers was at Clinton Correctional from January 6th to January 25th, but they would not comment on any allegations of attacks against guards in that prison. And the district attorney in Clinton County up there never responded to our emails asking whether or not he's pursuing any charges. Brett and Deanna, there was a shiv found on Vickers when he was in the Monroe County Jail during his murder trials, and that was back in 2022, 2023.
Wow. That early. Okay, Burke, thank you so much. Now, the number of assaults on staff and other inmates statewide has basically doubled in the last 5 years.
News 10 NBC investigative reporter Jennifer Lukey has been looking into that. And Jen, that seems to be scaring off a lot of people from even being interested in the job.
Yeah, that's right, Brett, Deanna. The Department of Corrections was 2,200 correction officers short even before the strike. Another 2,000 were fired when they refused to return to work after the strike. So the staffing situation inside state prisons is at a crisis level. The National Guard continues to serve as support staff and likely will for some time. That's the setup at a North Country jail right now. The state is looking to increase salaries and waive a residency requirement in an effort to recruit more people. It's also offering bonuses for current COs who refer someone new to the job. But those officers say between the violence, the hours, and everything that came out during the strike, they're not sure anyone is going to be interested in signing up for this work.
We would go out there, your brother, your sister, aunts, uncles, neighbor, friends, always got you to take this job. Now, nobody wants to take this job. You're working 4 or 5 mandates in a row with a 24-hour shift. The violence is through the roof. They don't feel like they're being protected. Nobody wants to listen. Why would you ask anybody to take this job or recommend it?
The most recent data on prison assaults doesn't help either. Here it is. It's a report that was released in January of this year. It shows that last year, about 2,000 assaults happened on staff members. That's double the number from just 5 years ago. And when it comes to assaults on other incarcerated individuals, last year there were about 3,000 of those. 5 years ago, there were 1,200. So there's been a steady increase in both of those categories every year. And Brett and Deanna, that's really not going to help any sort of recruitment effort, although the state is promising these corrections officers that that's what they will do now that the strike is over.
Wow.
Can't imagine it'll help.
Those numbers tell the tale, don't they? Thank you so much. Well, a little background on Kelvin Vickers. He's a notorious killer in Rochester. He was hired to come here as a hitman during a marijuana war between 2 rival dealers in the summer of 2022. On July 20th, he killed Ricky Collins in My Jail Rand. 2 days later, he gunned down Officer Mazurkowitz and seriously wounded his partner, Sino Singh. They were investigating drug violence. Vickers was convicted in October of 2023 and sentenced to life in prison that December. As a teenager, he spent time in prison in Massachusetts, and Vickers has only spent 58 days of his adult life out of prison, and he's never getting out. Now, we made sure we had all the information that we needed to break this story for you, and it was a team effort. We first learned about the attack through social media. Within hours Thursday afternoon, our producers found the video and tracked down the prison that Vickers was in at the time when the attack happened, and then found the prison guard. Now, Berkeley contacted the DA in Greene County, confirmed it was indeed Vickers, and talked to the guard on Zoom. Jen Lukey then secured an interview with the widow of Officer Mazurkiewicz, and reporter Marcia Augustin talked to her and the Rochester police chief last night.